Talk to Me is a 2022 horror film that was directed by the Philippou brothers, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and this was their directorial debut. This is an Australian film, and like I said, it's a horror film, and this is a first time watch for me. I had never seen this film before, and I'm watching it in preparation for the new one, Bring Her Back. Not that I think they have anything to do with each other, but just for fun, I decided to watch this one first and review it and give it my thoughts before I give my thoughts for Bring Her Back. And I heard a lot of hype on this one, and I heard that, a lot of people are talking about it pretty much just as much as Smile and in vain of those films, saying that like it's much better than like Truth or Dare and everything. It's released by A24, so I trusted that very much, and I had a good time with this film. Overall, I ended up giving this one a 4 out of 5 in the end. And there's things I loved about it, and there's things I didn't. I usually start with what I love, but I'm going to start with what I didn't like because um, I I want to talk more about what I liked because there is a lot that I liked about this film. There's a few things I didn't like, and pretty much it all came from the overhype. Realistically, just the overhype of the film and how much people were praising this film, and that it has a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, just made me expect something absolutely mind blowing, and it didn't really give me that too much. The first big thing I found is that I didn't care much about the characters. They didn't have much depth. They seemed really bland, and I mean all of them. Even the main character, Mia, who is a great actress and she does a phenomenal performance. I just did not care too much about her story. I didn't care about her family too much. Her friend, the one who has Riley as their son, who ends up getting hurt in the middle of the movie. By the way, this is going to be a full spoiler review because this film came out in 2022. It's streaming on Netflix right now. It's also available on physical media. It's very accessible. So if you haven't seen it, go see it first, then come watch this review. But because it's 2022 and because it's been out for a while and because it's readily available, I'm just going to talk full spoilers and say my full thoughts on the thing. So basically, they have that hand thing where I don't even know where the hell they got it, but they start playing with it, and it's all fun and games because they know the rules with it. You have to keep it in under 60 seconds or something, and you say, "Talk to me," and then you see some person from another realm, another dimension, from death or whatever, and then you say, "You can join me," or something like that, and then you get possessed by the person for a unknown amount of time. I'd guess like 50 seconds or something like that, they say. And they have fun with this. I would never fucking do that because I think that's stupid. I don't even play with Ouija boards, so fuck that hand voodoo shit. I'm not touching that. But in the middle of the film, one of the younger brothers, Riley, who's the younger brother of, forget the girl's name, but he wants to play with it. She's very hesitant because he's so young. I think he's like 13 or something, and he lasts a little bit too long in the possession, and he starts to get really hurt. This film is violent when it wants to be. I love that scene specifically when he's banging his head on everything, and just the visceral brutality that he gives to himself twice, actually, because there's a scene in the bathroom too where he's being taken care of, which I hope his injuries weren't permanent. I didn't know if he was going to be like a paraplegic or something for life. So that got really sad. I also found the scene where the kid starts making out with the dog, and I mean full tongue for like a minute with the dog, with the pug or whatever, hilarious but weird at the exact same time. I was laughing, but I was like, I don't know if I should be laughing at this because it's kind of disgusting. But that's the biggest thing, is just the characters just didn't do much for me. They were very bland to me. This film also got a little bit too Blumhouse, too much, and stayed away from the A24 thing. In its third act, that's when it started to really pick up for me, and that's when I started to really like it because then it got A24. I love the psychosis that Mia goes through, and her mother always talking to her and saying that her dad is, an imposter kind of thing. And, when he comes in and breaks into the bedroom and she stabs him in the neck, and you realize that it is her father and she just actually stabbed him. That stuff is really cool. Taking Riley from the hospital and taking him to the bridge, that stuff is exceptionally cool. And she's sitting there, and he keeps transforming from Riley to this old lady, kind of with hairless, kind of burn victim old lady, and the effects are really creepy. The acting is great all around. I love the acting. The script is really good. It's a very smart film. It's a very smart psychological film. I did like Smile way more. I think this would make a great double feature with Smile, but I have to give the upper hand to Smile. I liked Smile and just found it way more disturbing. Maybe it's a personal thing, but Smile disturbed me way more than Talk to Me did. And with its first and second acts, Talk to Me, it was just too jump scary. It was just too tropey. They dealt with too much like freaky things in the background, and again with the characters just being dumb and everything. The whole opening at that party where the guy goes into the room and sees the girl, she looks drugged, and then he like goes to the kitchen and stabs himself or something like that, and then before the title credits, it's just so tropey, so overdone. You've seen it a million times where it's like, I was hoping that this would be a little bit more slow burn and atmospheric, which it got that way, like I said, towards the third act. So I started to like it more and more as it started to get to the end. But yeah, it was a really cool film. It's very horrific when it wants to be. I like the brutality that it goes through, and I like the psychology of it with Mia's character. And I like how she realizes when she's at the bridge, and she wants to throw Riley off because her mother's telling her to. And I didn't get what made her mother evil either, because it was going back and forth with, did she take the pills accidentally? Did she take the pills on purpose? It never really gave a clear answer, and I guess it's not supposed to. But the whole like who's evil thing is very strange. Her in the hospital, once she jumps off the into the traffic herself and kills herself instead of Riley, and leaves Riley behind, and then she enters that dimension herself and sees her father walking away, and again it just makes you wonder, is the father evil, is he not? What's happening there. That's where it really starts to become a psychological film, the kind of films I like. And I love the way it ended. I really love that handshake with the random people, and then they're inviting her now, and then it ends that way with a nice song. It's a perfectly fitting ending to the horror film that it wants to be. So first and second act, meh. Third is my favorite, and overall 4 out of 5. So that's Talk to Me from 2022. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you'd like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, especially with Bring Her Back. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.